Okay, so Sammy, just to start off, I mean, you've had quite the journey at Ohio State. 6 years wrestling in the scarlet and gray. Just talk to me about that whole journey for you.
Yeah, it's definitely been a different college career just because of everything that happened. Um, I redshirted my first year, and then my first year competing for the Buckeyes, we wrestled a whole season, and then COVID cancels the tournament the day we're about to leave, and then we got an extra year. So it's just been all these things, and then obviously the shooting and fighting to come back. So it's just been a different path that I thought it was going to go.
I know I talked to you before you made that first return to the mat, but back in November when you did get out there for the first time, I mean, how did that feel?
It was definitely one of the cooler moments in my wrestling career. Just how many people cheered, and just the atmosphere running out of that tunnel. It was pretty cool.
What went into your decision to step away from the sport?
I said, like, probably around this time last year, like, if I can't compete at the level that I used to and, be at my full potential, I wasn't going to force it, just because I had a great career and I'd done a lot. So I think that was it, just me knowing what my full potential was, and then the performances that I was getting, and it was just so far away that I felt like it was time.
And going off of that, at the beginning of the year, you had said that, this isn't the end of wrestling for you, but if you did come back, you knew that you wanted to be at that full potential, if not more. When did you eventually hit the point and realize that you weren't going to get there?
Yeah, I mean, my leg might never be the same. You just don't know with nerve damage. And it was definitely not where I would have liked it to be when the season started, but you only have so much time. So, I knew what it was going into it, and I just didn't have enough time.
When you made that decision to step away from the sport, what were the emotions like for you?
It's tough because obviously that's not how I envisioned myself stepping away from the sport, but just like how many people reached out to me was pretty just astonishing. Like just people saying that I had an impact on them, or impact on their kids, impact on their athletes, So just having that many people reach out saying that I made a difference in their life, I know that this wasn't the way I wanted to leave wrestling, but I think that I touched and affected a lot more people with it being this way.
When you made that announcement, you said that this season, you coming back, it wasn't the Sammy that people were used to watching, but that you understood that. You kind of just touched on it, but when did you notice that the same Sammy wasn't the one coming back out here anymore?
My first match out, it was evident that there was damage to my leg. And I was just skilled enough in other positions that I could get away beating, guys ranked 30th and 25th, and competitive with the top 10 guys, but just not at the level that I needed to be to win. So just during the Big Ten season, just the results that I was getting, it was like, I don't need to keep forcing it.
So what, is it 15 years that you've been wrestling? More than that, I think?
Yeah, probably a little bit more than that. I'd say about 16, 17, yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So you had, 17 years of wrestling, 6 in the scarlet and gray. Just what are you going to miss most about all of it?
That's tough. Probably just like the butterflies of competing, like people are nervous and you're scared of it when you're in the moment, but then once you're out of it, like you want it back. You can have a kid and watch your kid wrestle, but that's not the same because you're not in control of that. You can have a little brother wrestle and you'll get the nerves, but it's not the same as when you're out there and you're in control of it. So I think that's what I'll miss most, is probably just being back there behind the tunnel, and then just that feeling of running out and then going to compete.
You end your wrestling career as a 4-time All-American, 2-time Big Ten champion. The list could go on. Are you proud? Like, do you leave this sport proud?
Yeah, of course. I had a great career, and I had a lot of good coaches. I had a lot of good teammates, family, my girlfriend. I just had a lot of people that went into it, and yeah, I couldn't have been more proud of it.
You prove to everyone that nothing's impossible. You make an incredible comeback. You face adversity. How do you hope that that legacy lives on forever, even though you may not be out there on the mat anymore?
Yeah, I think in some ways I wish that I could have kept competing, and in other ways that I'm glad that I was able to have such an impact on people. And if my story can just help a few people build the courage that they need to go out there and compete to the best of their ability, well, then that's pretty cool. So I think the story spread out to a lot of people, so just had a lot of good influence on a lot of kids, young wrestlers trying to achieve their dreams.
And going off of that, I know you had expressed getting in the world of coaching a little bit after making this decision. How do you hope that your experiences are going to be used in this new journey for you?
I think I never got hurt wrestling. At Ohio State, I never missed a match. So I really didn't know what it felt like to be injured, to be on the sidelines and watching your teammates compete. But I got that angle now. So that's going to help me as a coach. And I've just seen things from such a different point of view than how I did when I was a competitor. And I think that that's just going to play a huge role in the coach that I become and the way I'm going to be able to, help athletes achieve their goals.
I know it's obviously going to take some time to adjust to this new world for you, but in the perfect scenario, what kind of age group would you be coaching? Do you want to stay with Ohio State? Do you kind of have a vision for yourself?
I'm not positive yet. I think we'll get a better picture after NCAA's, but I would like to stay in college coaching right now.
And obviously, this new journey is going to be an adjustment for you. But what excites you most about kind of something new and different?
I love coaching. That's like that part of the sport. I felt like I always did really well. I had a brother that was 5 years younger than me. He wrestles at Virginia Tech, but so my dad didn't wrestle, so I was like a coach to him, and I just love helping other people. So I think that it's going to be a easy transition.
Going back to your decision to step away from the sport, just walk me through that conversation that you had with Coach Ryan.
I just called him and told him that, I think it's time. Obviously, I'm not getting the performance that I want. And, Coach Ryan, me and him are close, and I'm close with all the staff. So really, they just, wanted what was best for me, and they love me regardless. And they were fully supportive of the decision. And yeah, they care about me, and they care about all their athletes. So it wasn't a hard conversation.
I feel like it says a lot about not only you as an athlete, but as a person, that you make this decision and you opt out of, competing for a spot in the Big Ten championships, and you just have shown your selflessness through all of this. Talk to me through that kind of whole experience and kind of how you are as a person through all of that.
I think I live in reality, I see it for how it is. So just not getting me not being the best version of Sammy Sasso that there is. I felt somebody else may be able to do a better job. And me and Cannon, we were supposed to wrestle off earlier in the season, and then some injuries and things got out of hand. But I just felt like, in my best interest, it wasn't necessary for me. You know, I've been to 4 Big Ten championships. I made the finals every year. I didn't want to be remembered as, you know, taking 7th or what have you. You know, so. Cannon, me and him have had a lot of scraps in this wrestling room, and he's a good kid, and you know, I thought he could do well.
It hasn't been that long since you made the decision to step away, but it seems like you feel pretty content with your choice.
Yeah, you know, that's just how life is. You know, sometimes things happen, and you might not know why in the moment, but you know, there's a bigger picture ahead.
And in terms of getting into the coaching world, how much are you going to use of how Coach Ryan coached you and this entire staff kind of approached not only you as an athlete, but everything that you went through?
Yeah, like I said, I'm really close with the staff, and you know, they really care about me and want what's best for me. So I've had great coaches my whole life. You know, I grew up in the Lehigh Valley. It's just a big wrestling area, so I had a lot of good coaches there. And I had a great coach in high school, Coach Kroll. So kind of just a blend of all these coaches who, you know, were with me when I started, were with me in high school, and now in college. I think getting into the coaching world, it'll be a blend of everything that my coaches taught me.
Awesome. Well, Sammy, you got anything else you want to add or talk about or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Just go Bucks.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.